What is up, good people? It's time for the newest edition of Notes by Notes right here on Facebook and YouTube. We got the crew back in the stew. What is up, AP and K Dot? How are y'all feeling today?
Hey, no complaints, man. Woke up today.
Amen.
Glad to be back.
Hey, there we go. There we go. So let me tell you what we got coming up on the show today. We are going to talk about the Houston Texans chairman, Cal McNair, to open up the show. He was caught saying some insensitive remarks about the Asian community. And then we also have a new edition of Go Crazy Simmer Down, a special Halloween edition of Go Crazy Simmer Down. And then we're going to talk some NBA and do a recap for Thursday Night Football. And tonight, or today, I will be bringing you Joe's Locks. But first, before we get started with the show, let me tell you about our friends over at A to Z Skin and Hair. A to Z for Skin and Hair offers a bevy of hair and skin products that have no preservatives and are made with love, like rice water, which is used to promote healthy, strong growth of the hair and prevent dandruff, moisturizing hair butter for everyday styling, and their rapid growth, which is a perfect mix of all natural oils. And also their gang beard oil, which I use before every show and also every day to get my beard game right. To contact A to Z Skin and Hair to find out more about their products, give them a call at 469-674-5567. Once again, that's 469-674-5567, and tell them the crew at Notes by Notes sent you. Are y'all ready for a show?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
All right, let's go!
You've heard of hot takes, and you're probably tired of hearing the same old talking heads repeating the same stuff over and over again. The time has come for the game to evolve, and just like in sports, there are a select number of individuals who are leading the evolution of change and pushing the game forward. This isn't just a sports podcast. This podcast is about how life, culture, and sports all meet at one intersection. This is the new wave. This is the new sound. This is the evolution. This is Notes by Notes.
What is up, good people? Thank you for tuning in to Notes by Notes right here on Facebook. This special Halloween weekend edition of Notes by Notes. AP, K Dot, what's up? What's the deal, squad?
Spooky.
How was y'all's week? AP, how was your week?
Man, can't complain. A whole lot of work. Not a lot of frivolous activities, but no complaints. Easy week.
There we go. K Dot.
On the off chance that my boss or ownership is listening, I worked hard and earned my salary this week.
Hey, I should have put that caveat.
And that's it. That's my final statement.
That's it?
Take it to court. Yep, that's it.
Oh man, K Dot with the PC answer to come in.
I'm starting PC. It's all downhill from here, though.
I ain't
That's
did.
the way,
I
yeah.
don't want. I ain't doing shit.
Guys, stay tuned. I'm just bullshitting.
Oh my God. Well, man, this week has been super fun. Actually, this week I was on my good friend's podcast, Who's on Call podcast, with my homie Rich and Alvaro. And it was dope. We had a great time. Actually, we talked about Chappelle's show. Or we talked about the Chappelle special. Not the show, but the special. Yeah.
Show.
Hey, that's legendary. That's,
Better not bring your kids.
Oh, man. But, yeah, it was a good time. And we are bouncing back. This is episode 8. After a racy, I would say, episode 7, where we kind of talked some life. And I think it was good. We got some great feedback. People enjoyed the show. So hopefully, you guys enjoy this show because as we do this show, we're going to be talking about more sports this week. So let's hop into it real quick. Let's go ahead and hop into it because as of Wednesday, there was a report coming out of the Houston Texans camp that Chairman Cal McNair was caught making anti-Asian remarks at a team charity golf event in May. And in my opinion, I feel like this is why Roger Goodell doesn't want these emails that got John Gruden fired Release. Yes, we're bringing it back.
Run it back.
We're running it back. But I say that because, in my opinion, wherever there is smoke, there's fire, right? Mm-hmm. So, in this case, in the NFL, it's 32 organizations, 32 franchises. If this is some smoke that you can see, it's going to be a big fire. They understand that culturally inside of some of these franchises that are a part of the Shield, they aren't really doing the right moral things. They're kind of abusing their power to an extent, right? I mean, you look at Daniel Snyder. Daniel Snyder no longer has anything to do with the Washington football team. He has given all of the ownership duties to his wife after all the backlash. And then you look at the Raiders. Mark Davis, he's over here like, yo, y'all really want to start this? I had to fire my coach. The guy who had me 3-1, sitting at second place in the AFC West. I had to fire my coach. So you know what I want you to do? I want you to release all the emails. I want to report on all the emails. And what's crazy is the NFL could do that. They could have a redacted version of these reports. It doesn't have to include names. It could be completely anonymous. All they want to see is what's being said. In my opinion, I think Mark Davis actually wants to know just a little bit more. He wants to know a little bit more because he had to fire his guy. He wants to see if there's justification for this. So he wants to put that out there on the table. I'll tell you what's going to happen. The NFL ain't releasing jack. It ain't happening. This is not, number one, this ain't Black Lives Matter. This is not social injustice. This is none of that. This is none of it. And the NFL has bended for the past 2 years on everyone else's agenda. You think that just because one owner has an issue that he's going to be like, yeah, we're going to add some more bad publicity to this past 2-year time period. No, it's not going to happen. The NFL does not, they're like, nah, bro. It's like, release the emails. Nope. Well, why would? Nope. It's like every single time Roger Goodell comes out, it's the same exact answer that he gave the last reporter. Someone asked him that. He's like, same thing. He's like, we believe the investigation was fair. We believe that the Washington football team paid the right amount of consequences for their actions. Daniel Snyder is no longer a part of this organization. We did the right thing. He's going to keep on placating that. Anybody who's looking for more out of Roger Goodell at this point is not going to get it. Anybody looking for anything more outside of the NFL offices is not going to get it. It's just not going to happen. They've already bended so much. And I'm not saying their bending was a bad thing. I actually think they did. It wasn't a virtue signaling type of thing. Only thing they need to do now is sign Colin Kaepernick. And I'm going to stand by that. I'm going to stand by that for a long time.
2 feet.
As long as it's not the Cowboys.
Yeah, as long as it's not the Cowboys, we don't need that. Well, Jerry Jones ain't going to do that anyways.
No, I don't mind. I think we're in a good spot as far as quarterbacks go.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There's some teams like, Kaepernick sounds good. Nah, we'll keep Dak. We're good. We're good.
Nah, he's not giving up his $40 million guy for Cap. But, I mean, again, there are other teams that Cap, even Cam Newton, could service, could help. And they're not getting the call. So where I stand with this, the NFL's not giving anybody jack. It doesn't matter what anyone does. Jerry Jones, Stan Kroenke, Mark Davis, all the Robert Kraft, all of them are going to keep this bounded up forever. They're going to die with these secrets in the NFL. That's what's crazy. And it's never going to come out. After this, we're never going to hear about it. It's going to be a repeated question, but the NFL is not going to give it the time of day. Never. So that's my rant. I was thinking about it. I was like, this is the issue with the culture. This is the issue inside of the NFL culture. Mm-hmm. And it's so poisonous. It's so bad that when something like this happens, don't release it because it's going to kill the business model. We're going to see a mass load of owners that have to give up their team. Like, that's what I believe. we talked about it through text. We was like, yo, these emails come out. Jerry Jones has to sell his team. Not going to happen.
No. Jerry Jones will start his own league in Texas. Just Texas football. Yeah. I watch it.
The TFL.
Oh, all day. I watch Texas. Hey, you might see your boy suit up. You know what I'm saying? No.
Bring him back. Bring it back.
Hey, I got my shoulder pads and my helmet still. What you mean?
For what? You can be a referee. What you suit up for? Better hold that first down marker.
Oh my God, man. So yeah, that was my rant to start the show. Y'all got anything to add, by the way? AP, K Dot.
Yeah, so, as a fan of all things Dallas, I find the whole thing hilarious.
Yeah.
As a fan of the human race, it's disgusting.
It's very gross.
That being said, we want to get mad at the Texans because the way they just completely broke that team and just ruined it. Mm-hmm. And we want to blame Bill O'Brien, but it starts at the top. It starts with McNair and that family, right? Mm-hmm. So it's no surprise that it happened. But he came out and said something about the coronavirus and relating it to China. So did the former president. He didn't get impeached. So you think they're going to have to get rid of their team? Hell no.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen unless there's something we talked about before, video evidence of a domestic dispute happening that we can see and tie to. The level of tolerance for the NFL is through the roof.
Yeah.
It's pretty high.
And what people will give up and forget, I mean, we're mad because, again, we have to be mad. Otherwise, we're monsters. But NFL Sunday rolls around and you hear, the song for Sunday Night Football or Monday night. You see, the game day opening show before kickoff. Like, all right, I'm back. Like, well, what happened last week? Like, nah, I'm good. Like, I got like 6 games to watch in a row. I don't care about what happened last week. Let's move on with their lives. So, something to be said about the NFL fans and our level of tolerance. And also, I'm going to touch base on Washington football team. I love the fact you refer to Dan Snyder as Daniel Snyder. Like he's a child, because he is a child with a team.
It's a petulant child.
Yes.
He needs his bottom whooped.
But instead of Dan, it's Daniel. Like, Daniel, what did you do wrong? And it's always some shit. Always. It never stops. So, the funniest part about it all is Gruden's being fired, which deservedly so, for stuff he pulled when he was still with ESPN. Why aren't we canceling ESPN? He was employed with them. I mean, you tell me they didn't know? What kind of ship are they running? Yeah. The focus is on the NFL because they hired him, but all this happened when he was an employee with ESPN, yet ESPN is the one shitting on him right now for all the wrongdoings. Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah. It's moronic to a degree that, but that's the thing. That's what makes everything so complicated. It's so many different angles you come from this. You could go at this with so many different angles. It's like, he was working for ESPN. Well, he shouldn't be saying that. It's like, It's crazy.
John Gruden was the peace offering. That's a face that everyone knows because he was on ESPN for a very long time as a sportscaster. Everyone knows Gruden, right? Mm-hmm. He's a familiar face. Right. You don't want to fire some dude that like half America doesn't know. Everyone knows Gruden. Yeah. You put him on the platter, and everyone sees, they fired Gruden. All right, we're good. Bet. Yeah. Good at least till next season, right? Mm-hmm. That's our controversy for 2021. So put that shit to bed. We'll cross it again next year. But I feel like he was the peace offering to the general public. Yeah. As sad as it is, I think that's what it was. And if he's a scapegoat, I'm good with it.
The sacrificial lamb. Yeah. That's what he was. AP, what you think?
I literally have that written down, along with the fact that the former president made the exact same comment. And it was like, oh, Donald.
Got the ESPN, AP?
That old Donald does too much sometimes.
Oh, stop it.
I just think that it's definitely one of those things that is, it's not okay. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You definitely don't want to, associate anything negative with a body of people. Right. So, it's not right. But, realistically, the NFL, their books are, I agree. I think the books are closed. I think that right now, and something I was going to talk about later on today on another topic, the NFL is a business, and I think that the people at the top are recognizing the business aspect of it, and it's not just about winning games anymore, right? Because there's so much talent. Literally, it's national. Like they can pull people from anywhere. So the amount of talent, the pool is there. So realistically, from the top to the bottom, like people are having to answer to the things that historically they have not had to answer for.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
That's a bar.
They're actually getting rid of liability because they're being held accountable.
Yep.
Liability. That is exactly.
Those are bars.
Let them go.
The word for the day.
There's no one player bigger in the game. Not even close to it. Not even Tom Brady. Yeah. Nobody.
Or chairman for that matter, apparently. So we'll see what happens with old McNair.
Well, McNair is the son of the late Bob McNair, right? Bob McNair is his dad's name. So it's his team. It's his team.
Which we all know historically, rich people's sons are assholes. So, I mean, it makes sense.
That's so true, bro.
He's fitting that mold just right.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm impressed he apologized. So that's a step in the right direction.
I mean, apologies. What do they really mean nowadays? You know,
I could ball up this paper, and if I unfold it, it'll still be wrinkled.
Oh my God.
Y'all know y'all heard that
modeling school.
No,
I have never heard
Seriously?
that. Never.
Y'all never been to a team builder or like a...
Our team builders...
Like a bullying
Hard
prevention?
Knocks. Our team builders watching Hard Knocks.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
That was a bar too, yo. We gotta get T-shirts made with that on, like for real. Don't lie. Hold on, that's the title for the episode right there.
No, but the T-shirt say like I dried the shirt, but it's still wrinkled.
I ironed, I swear.
I use Stay Flow and everything.
This is linen.
Yeah. Oh, did he just say Stay Flow?
Stay Flow.
Jeez,
The original blue bottle.
Bruh.
Yep.
No, hold up. Not the
gallon.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And nobody put water in it when you were supposed to put water.
Definitely wasn't. That's how them jeans in Dallas was standing up.
Yo, oh, you know it. With the Southside Cup.
Did I read what? The instructions. Spell that. What?
Instruction.
I remember my brother came home with some Stay Flow. He was like, "Say, this is how we're going to iron our pants now." I was like, okay. And it's like, so we were talking about feelers earlier, right? Completely off topic. Y'all just enjoy our convo here. But we were talking about felines. Y'all remember the felines with the strap coming over and everybody had them wiped out.
The one swoop,
bruh.
And the colors.
Yes. And people came in there with red and white ones, black and white ones, blue and white ones, the all whites, the all blacks, the all blue. It was like a movement like never before. Like, yo, those were the good days. Those were the good days.
Forever I love Atlanta.
Forever I love Atlanta. Hey! Oh, man.
All right. We digress.
Yeah, we digress. But, yeah, that's some great dialogue to start up the show. Again, this is a sports life culture podcast, so sometimes we do start with a little bit of life. Sometimes we have a full episode about life, but we do get to the sports. We do get to the sports. So, y'all know what time it is? Y'all know what time it is?
I know.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Tell him, Jay.
Say swear.
It's time for Go Crazy Simmer Down.
Let's go.
Hey! All right, folks, here we go. Let's get it. It's time for your favorite segment of the week. Go Crazy Simmer Down. Here we go. So, the Panthers reportedly will no longer pursue a trade for Deshaun Watson because the only team that he has waived his no trade clause for is the Miami Dolphins. Are we going crazy here or are we simmering down? I'm going to start with, hold up. AP, let's get it.
Simmer down. I'm going to tell you why. Simmer down because it's Deshaun Watson. He cold. However, on the other side of the coin, he's a problem. He's a PR nightmare. The guy is presently, 20-some-odd, 22 cases plus a pop. He got 22 in a pop. So, realistically, the guy's an issue. He got a great deal where he's at, and this no trade situation. It got people worried, and nobody wants to deal with a diva, especially on top of that, a destructive diva.
Yeah.
So, I'm simmering down. Let him go.
Oh.
Get him. Pass him by.
K-Dot, what you got?
I'm simmered down. I'm half asleep. Could not possibly care less. The only thing less exciting than the Houston Texans team is the Deshaun Watson situation because he has leverage. You're not getting paid. He's missing out on $2 million plus a game. Now you want to come in like you got leverage, like I want to go to Miami, and you'll go wherever we send you. You want to go somewhere and get paid. You listen to us and tell you, where we tell you to go. So Miami seems ideal. So Carolina not wanting in or out, kind of a moot point because even now I understand the hesitation from any team. Like there's still 22 potential cases lingering. Now whether they go through or not, we don't know. And there's no clear answer from the NFL. Will he be suspended for? If so, for how long? They can't give a clear answer. The question is, will it happen before November 2nd, which is 4 days away?
Yeah.
The answer is no. He's staying in Houston. So, I mean, in theory, in normal situation, a trade of a quarterback of this caliber, look at how excited we were about Matt Stafford, who's, early mid-30s. He's not near the athlete and quarterback that Deshaun Watson is right now. That, spoke volumes. But this...
Got to simmer down on that one?
I mean, we're talking about two teams that are, 1-5 each?
Yeah.
So we're talking about losers and trading quarterbacks, and he's not going to a contender. So it's not going to change the face of the NFL and the whole playoff picture. So if he does move, maybe that comes to fruition and means something in three years or so. As of right now, it's irrelevant.
It's a Pokemon card. That's
all right.
Yeah.
Well, I like your answers. I'm going to have to agree with the both of you here because I thought that the Carolina Panthers were in play for Deshaun Watson earlier this summer. Actually, before all of this stuff kind of hit the fan, they wanted to trade for him. And Deshaun Watson, remember, the precipice of this is kind of when Deshaun Watson was like, yo, I don't want to play for Houston anymore, even though I signed a new deal less than a season ago. I kind of want to go elsewhere. And then next thing you know, shit rolls downhill, right? So that's what happened. So Carolina missing out on Deshaun Watson. I don't think there's much to do or much to be excited about or not to be excited about. I am interested in where he will end up. Again, those 22 cases is a big thing. I think for anyone, before I will speak out on it personally, I have to make sure I got all the facts because I don't know what 22 cases is a lot. On either way that you look at it.
That's a big number for people that want cases. Like catch a case,
yeah.
Catch a case. Like, you catch 22, like shit, 22.
It's like 22. Catch 22. It's like, bruh. So I'm gonna simmer down on that one too. So the NBA season has tipped off. One team is looking older than the others, and the Los Angeles Lakers is that team. LeBron James and Anthony Davis have been experiencing issues. Russell Westbrook does not look so hot as the starting point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers. Are we going crazy right here? Or are we simmering down? K-Dot, what you got?
An old team gets hurt. No surprise. Simmer down. We knew it going into it, right? They're going to be doing low management. They're the oldest team in NBA history. And they got hurt.
These are softballs right here.
But okay. Yeah. But here's the thing, too. Like, these aren't season-ending injuries, right? NBA sprained ankles, it happens all the time. It's not even high ankle sprains. A couple of games here and there, nothing to be too worried about. AD is, the youth of that team. And you let him play through, do his thing, and the rest of the team just do low management. Because at the end of the day, you have veterans all across the board on that team. Mm-hmm. All you need to do is get to the playoffs. That's it. And more than half the league makes the playoffs. People forget that. It's easy to make the playoffs in the NBA. I say easy, not for like Minnesota or some bullshit team, but for most teams, if you're in LA and you get that kind of star power, my biggest focus isn't their injuries, it's why they still think that Russell Westbrook was a good idea. More on that in coming weeks, but let's get back to the point. So, hey P, what you got?
Can I?
No, you got to say something now.
Can I crimmer? Like, is that somewhere between crazy and simmer?
We could create that. AP's going crimmer.
I'm a low key. I'm a low key go crazy. But I'm gonna tell you why. I'm go crazy not because of the situation. Like K-Dot said, there is absolutely no surprise here. Like, LeBron honestly has been having injuries pretty, consistent for the last few seasons. This ain't new. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for the Lakers, this star power that they brought to the Lakers for this season, the highlight, the graphics, you know what I mean? Yeah. What? They literally loaded the team. And now the two star players that they're trying to rally around and build this master team for are down. And they have all these people that they have in place that are supposed to perform, and they're not. That's where I'm going crazy. I feel like literally, what's the budget? Like, who's getting paid what and who's not getting paid anything? Because the stars that they have on this team right now and the plan that they had in place, it's falling apart. It's falling apart early. Now, it is very early. I will say that. So if they had to get hurt, if it's any time, it's no time better than the present. You know, let him heal up. You know, let LeBron especially rest his feet, with his back, his legs, his ankles. Let him rest it all because they're gonna need him.
Yeah,
they're gonna need him. So I'm gonna go crazy on him. I think it's a thing.
Y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, or no? I'm actually gonna agree with AP here. Because so here's my thing.
Wait, so you're also a Crimmer?
No, I'm going crazy.
Okay.
No, I'm going full blown crazy. I'm
gonna get a shirt.
Crimmer. Hey,
smooth Crimmer.
No. But I do think that with LA coming into this season as the finals favorite, you gotta go crazy here. I mean, you just can't do this. Like, you load your team, and I know it's not the players' fault. You load your whole entire team, and the players who are supposed to complete this entire, whatever you want to call it, they're out. Or they're missing time. LeBron James is missing time. Yes, Father Time is undefeated, but it's LeBron James we're talking about here. He is what these other players orbit around. So when you are missing your leader, and when AD, and by the way, AD and Dwight Howard aren't getting along, when Russell Westbrook is turning the ball over 10 times, excuse me, you're supposed to be the finals favorite. When you're the finals favorite, you're supposed to show up and show out every single night. The expectation was never different for Golden State. The expectation was never different for Cleveland. The expectation is not going to be different for Milwaukee this year. So, to me, this is a big deal, especially with Vegas putting these guys as the NBA the favorites to win it all this year. I think that that's a big deal. So I'm going crazy here.
Can I elaborate a little bit?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
This
So Russ is making $40 million a year. So where he fits in that system? So the idea is, well, LeBron should be the one with the ball, right? Well, now you got Russ, who's ball dominant. Now that one of those guys play well off the ball, and they're good, creating their own shots on the perimeter. LeBron, even in his old age, has never developed the old man post game either. So Russ, with LeBron out, runs a quadruple double with 10 turnovers.
Right.
Clearly not an efficient way to run the ball through that team. Also, they sacrifice on defense via Russ. So then you think, well, maybe Russ is good for that second run of guys, right? Off the bench. $40 million sitting on your bench, waiting to play six man. Like, it doesn't make sense. In no way does it add up. Like, I can't seem to figure out the whole dynamic, because last year they got beat by Phoenix, who were younger and shot the ball better. So what did they do? They got older and shoot the ball worse.
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
That makes no sense.
There are no shooters. LeBron historically does well when he has shooters around him to kick the ball out to. Russ can't shoot a ball for shit. It's bad. I mean, they have no shooters. Their best shooter is probably
LeBron James. And you never want LeBron to be your best shooter.
That's not a recipe for success.
No.
Well, okay, actually, your best shooter is probably Melo, but he's streaky at 37 years old.
Yeah, he's old.
Which is basically 84. Like, he's past retirement, and he's there like, you know what? Vet minimum, I'm going to go ride the coattails of LeBron James and try to steal a championship, which would be great if they had a better cast. But, like, with Russ, they sacrifice depth, and most importantly, they sacrifice youth, which is pertinent for this season.
Whew. I like the elaboration. Kelly with the
Russ could be called.
Time. Is it 2 minutes? I tried to keep it short.
You did.
Okay.
AP.
If Russ could fall into that six-man position, then it'd be the dream that the Lakers was having one night drunk.
Yes.
If Russ could fall into that six-man position, he is a dominant player. He's a dominant player, but his role is an only man. He does not play good team ball. I've said it since forever. I mean, I think that's where every team that he's ever been a part of, the dynamic falls apart, because when he's hot, there's no possibility for anybody else to even be warm, because he's that shithead on the court at the rec who won't pass the ball.
And he's got one speed, and it's 100% back and forth. He runs end-to-end basketball.
99.99.
There's no half-court basketball. There's no setting up plays. There's no, like, he's like, you know what? There's a basket. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it.
Time.
Man, good point. I like those points. So we got Simmer Down, Go Crazy, and Crimmer. All right. So on to the next topic here. So USC is in search for their next head coach, and many candidates have been mentioned. Most notable wish list candidate was Mike Tomlin, but he says they don't have a big enough check to sign me. Are we going crazy right here? I mean, for USC's perspective, are we going crazy or are we simmering down? Not Mike Tomlin, but USC's perspective. AP, my bad.
We're looking at you like, tell us where to go.
AP, AP, stick your hand up. Hit the buzzer.
I'm a simmer all the way down on US. Like, I mean, come on, man. That's like somebody. That's like, I don't know, anybody other than Kobe asking Brandy to be his date to the prom.
Yeah.
Like the science club president asking Brandy to be his date to the prom. Like why? Why?
Stephon Arkell could have done it though.
He could have pulled.
Not Steve. Stephon could have got.
He could have pulled. He could have put that. Took it to his time machine or whatever. But I mean, ain't no time machine for Mike Tomlin. Like, he not feeling it. I mean, why would you go to heaven to come back to earth unless you just had a lot of unfinished business that was worth it? You know what I mean? And realistically, simmered down. USC. Why'd you ask?
Man, I like it. I like it. K-Dot, what you got?
Hot take. Go crazy. Go crazy. I say that because Mike Tomlin came into a good situation, has had won his entire tenure in Pittsburgh. He hasn't seen the amount of shit that comes with trying to rebuild a team in a football town like Pittsburgh. Not saying he's not capable, but to say there's no blank check big enough, that's the answer anyone should get. And I'm going crazy because Mike Tomlin is that much simmered down. He's always calm, cool, and collected in the pocket. Always has been. So think about the prospect of going to USC where you don't have to wait for a full rebuild. Every year you get new recruits, and you're in one of the hottest recruiting beds in the entire country in California. There's talent everywhere there. Now, the only real variable is what do they do as far as this whole conference rebuild, right? You got UT and Oklahoma, which we discussed before, going to the SEC. What happens with the Pac-12, right? If they create another big conference, to be on top of that would be a great spot. Also, you live in California instead of Pittsburgh, which is also a win. I mean,
that's the win.
85 and sunny, like, all year round. So, downplay it all you want, but, like, I mean, Big Ben's on his way out. What's in the cards for them moving forward? They've got a decent defense, but no real prospects. I mean, how long until Pittsburgh is relevant and continuing again? What, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
You spent 4 or 5 years in California, which is like early retirement, but you occasionally coach football. If I'm Tomlin, I entertain the idea. And, I mean, to be a god in, not quite there, so getting ahead of myself, but Saban, you want to be a god in college football or be average run of the mill in the NFL?
Hey, there you go. I like to go crazy. I do like to simmer down. I like the two perspectives here. I am going to go crazy. Again, I believe wherever there's smoke, there is fire. And
James wants to smoke?
You already know. But being a reporter, people don't put out nothing that they don't want people to hear, right? Mm-hmm. So there's two sides to the coin, USC, and then there's Mike Tomlin. Mm-hmm. Who's going to put that out? USC is going to put out, hey, look, our wish list candidate is Mike Tomlin. That's all they have to do to flirt, right? Mike Tomlin, like Kelly alluded to, has been there for 15 years, 15 seasons.
Yep.
Never had a losing record, even with Delvin Duck Hodges when Big Ben was down and Mason Rudolph was down. I think there is some potential that Mike Tomlin could say, hey man, let me go to college, let me see what I can do, because he is a leader of men, but sometimes you have to transition into something different to become greater, right? Like you have to try different things. I think he's a Hall of Famer in the NFL already. I believe that. He has a similar resume to former Steelers head coach Bill Cowher. So I think that it will be a smart move. Either way, it's a win-win for Mike Tomlin, in my opinion. I think that he would fit at USC and for the better part of his plans for the future. So,
but also this is on the back end of the alleged controversy of people saying, "Oh, good thing we got out." Because you look at Le'Veon Bell, AB, all these guys that dipped out, and they're flourishing now. They're doing great.
Right.
So I mean, now on top of the team as a whole deteriorating, and falling apart slowly but surely, but so is the overall idea that Pittsburgh runs a tight ship.
Yeah.
So why not get ahead of that? Just start fresh.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
I'm not saying it's Tomlin. I've always liked Tomlin, but it's kind of tainted. The ideas in people's heads,
right,
because of AB and Le'Veon and the characters they are, that maybe there's some validity to it.
Right. And, a blank slate is, sometimes it's good. And a new change of setting, I mean, going from Pittsburgh to California, you alluded to it. Mm-hmm. Stephen A. Smith said it. He was like, oh, if the finals are in Miami, it's a different, people love different locations. So on to the next topic, final topic of Go Crazy Simmer Down. Once again, thank you guys for rocking with us right here on Notes by Notes. So this one is for Kelly because he's a baseball player here, or he's a baseball fan.
It's for you.
The Braves, and you could give the only answer on this because I think it's great what this guy did. AP, if you want to add to it, please feel free. But the Braves pitcher Charlie Morton threw 16 pitches on a broken leg in Game 1 of the World Series. Go crazy, simmer down, K-Dot.
Yo, he put the team on his back, though. All the way through. Put the team on his back, though. Got a broken leg. Swear to God, in 16 pitches, and just and struck out Altuve, one of the best hitters for the last 15 years. It just kind of sets the tone of what we expected and wanted from the Braves in this series, right? No one outside of greater Houston area is rooting for the Astros, right? So let it be known, I lived in Georgia for a couple of years when I was young, so I haven't tired of the Astros.
I'm rooting for the Astros.
This isn't my usual anti-Houston everything, and it's not even about the fact that they got caught cheating. Not alleged, they got caught cheating. It was proven, so don't try and church it up, Houston. We all know. A lot of people are mad about it, but Atlanta didn't surpass 500 until over 100 games into the season. The latest any team has ever taken to get to that point, and now they're in the World Series against all odds. Very much an underdog. So even if they don't win the series, that first game sets the tone of exactly why they're here in the first place and why everyone else in the country is rooting for them.
Kelly with the facts.
Wait, I forgot. Go crazy. Yeah, that's it.
Go crazy. All right, got the ball back.
Yep.
AP, just hit it over to you. Hit the grounder. Pick it up.
I mean, I think that there's nothing else that can be said other than go crazy. I mean, what sport can you play with a broken leg?
Greg Jennings in Madden 15.
I'm not finna do that. I'm not gonna respond to that. I'm just saying. So I mean, realistically, I think that people sleep on the fact that well, he had the pitches now. His broke leg is. I mean, literally, it's a full body situation.
Yeah.
To throw an accurate pitch, literally, it's all they tell you, it's in the hips. Mm-hmm. So I mean, the hip bone connected to the
tailbone.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I guess so.
I mean, I was going from hip straight to the leg, straight to the broke part.
Remix.
But yeah, I'm going crazy. I don't got much to say about it. I think that it is what it is. Get that boy his grapes and give him somebody to feed him to.
Hey, there you go. There you go. I'm gonna go crazy too. I mean, I thought it was phenomenal. Me and Amber watched that, and we didn't know, so it was good to know after the fact. But hopefully this guy, gets some good rehab in, and he's back for another baseball season, in April. So,
and the first thing that's going to come to mind is people talking about other sports that are more physical and why it's not as impressive as other sports. Here's the difference. Guys that play through certain injuries in other sports aren't the ones striking out 3 batters or putting down 3 batters from one of the best offensive teams in MLB history.
Right.
So he wasn't standing out in the outfield. No, he's striking them out. He's putting down Altuve. So it'd be comparable to a running back with a broken leg running for an 80-yard touchdown.
Right.
That doesn't happen. So an offensive tackle playing through some injuries, this and that, you got to stand there and just maybe not get your quarterback sacked. But this guy led the way for a whole inning on the biggest stage in the MLB. So hats off.
There we go. Well, folks, that concludes this edition of Go Crazy Simmer Down on this episode 8 of Notes by Notes, which is sponsored by A to Z for Skin and Hair. We want to thank you guys for rocking with us, through the show so far. We got some fiery sports talk coming up right now. the NBA season, like we said earlier, has tipped off, and I mean, you have your teams that are playing well, you have your teams that are playing average, you have your teams that are playing poorly, right? I mean, that's just what sports are. I mean, it's never going to be, hey, this team who looks great last year, or all the teams that looked great last year are going to come back and look great this year. So which NBA team has had the most impressive start to the season, in your opinion, AP? I'm going to,
and y'all are going to call me a hypocrite, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to go with two people because two people have caught my eye. I'm very interested, and we were just talking about it. I'm very interested in the Charlotte Hornets this season. It's a young team, and LaMelo Ball, I think he's something special. I've watched him since their little web series, their little Facebook watch, when the boy was still early in high school, not his senior or junior year, because we know where he was his last year.
Yeah.
The boy was overseas somewhere, Lithuania.
Playing in the big baller league.
Getting paid.
Yeah, getting paid.
Getting paid. He been a grown man. Put some respect on him, okay? He's the best ball. So I'm excited about the Hornets. I think that they're off to a great start. They're 4-1, and I mean they're number 2. They're number 2 in I want to say they're Eastern, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
They're sitting at 4-1 right now. Third place.
Third? I thought they were 2. Okay. And my other team is gonna be the Memphis Grizzlies, and not because obviously, because I'm from there. But as a caveat, I think that is just dope. I think that they're holding their own. Like I said last year, I was rooting for them going into the playoffs. I think that they got playoff DNA. I think that is young. I think Ja Morant is doing what he got to do to get his people where he need to be. He's putting them on his back. He's carrying it every day. And they beat my Golden State Warriors. Ooh. So I gotta show them respect for that. But they're the ones I want to say that knocked them out of the playoff contention last year. So I mean, realistically, hey, I'm here for it. I think that they've oiled the machine, and I'm ready to see what they do with it.
Man. Talking about the Charlotte Hornets and the Memphis Grizzlies. That's AP. You knew she was going to throw that in there.
I was going to go low.
While we go high, they go.
I'm that at the bottom.
What you got, bro?
Well, she kind of killed my point by bringing up the fact they beat the Dubs, but my answer is the Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
Only because I'm still stuck on that idea of the team before they had KD. They built that team through the draft, and you can't help but love it. The fact they built the team so well they could add Kevin Durant, that's just good management. That's a good team. Oakland gets behind them. It's great to watch. And the fact that they're 4-1 currently, and Clay isn't even back yet. And you look at Achilles, we talked about it earlier, and whether it was to a player, but Clay's not one to need finesse. He scored 61 points on 11 dribbles.
Yeah.
Clay's like, give me the ball, I'm going to shoot it wherever I'm at, and he's going to make the shot. So they're 4-1 without adding Clay back to the lineup. And, I mean, they still got draft picks. They got talent. They trade bait. They can make a move later in the season. But this is the same team we saw make it to 2 finals before adding Kevin Durant. And I'm excited to see him again because that's the most fun I've had watching basketball in a very long time. I mean, I grew up on Jordan in the 90s. That was all defense, big men. This is more exciting than anything I've seen in basketball as a team effort, right? Because they all shoot the ball well, and they spread the court, and they change the game. Steph Curry changed the game more than anyone since Iverson. So there are individual players like Ja, like D-Rose, individuals, but this is a whole team that is just exciting. I cannot wait for Clay to come back in 2022. And if they can maintain and stay over 500 till then, I'm excited about that playoff push. I'm excited to see what the odds do and how they change because LA is the favorite, as old as they are, going into the season. But when Clay comes back and they're firing all cylinders again, and you got Draymond kind of locking it down as far as the defense and the fire behind the team, I want to see that again. I miss that.
I'm very intrigued by the Charlotte Hornets for sure. And the Golden State Warriors. Just to piggyback off of what you guys said, the Charlotte Hornets intrigue me because of their youth and the depth that they have on the bench. They got some players on the bench that can actually play, probably start on 8 teams in the NBA. And then for the Golden State Warriors, what makes me really intrigued, like you said, is the magic that they captured during that run that they had. Being that and proving that they built through the draft, they don't need anyone else to infiltrate that roster for them to be great again. Ooh, that sounded gross. For them to be great. Ugh. Oh, jeez, man. Make the NBA great again. That's my Halloween costume right there. That's what you get. Make the NBA great again.
Hey, top 10 impressions that I've ever seen in my life.
Melania, give me a Big Mac, please.
You practiced that.
Dude, I've been working hard on it. I watched a lot of Alec Baldwin stuff. That's a bad name.
Bad timing.
God.
We just stopped.
Are we going back to go crazy and simmer down? Are we going to do another one?
I just got a lot of bad stuff right now.
Do we just go back to crazy?
Oh, my God. But I'm really intrigued by both of those teams. My team would be the Dallas Mavericks, 3-1, and it's not a homer take. They're 3-1. There are some things that they still need to grow on, but for them to be 3-1, if you remember last season, the Mavericks were bad. They were under 500 until January. So for them to be, at 3-1 with a new coach and this team kind of gelling together, I like what I'm seeing. They're a big surprise for me. So I think that they qualify for a impressive start just based off of what happened last year. So I'm excited about Luka Doncic. I like the fact that KP is playing a lot better, but we're really doing limited minutes again? Bruh, lower back tightness? Nah, fam, you need to play. Like, you ain't injured, you're hurt. Like, hurt players play all the time. Like, that's what sports is. So there aren't really a lot of outlying issues that I see with the Dallas Mavericks team. And that's why I consider them, consider them to have one of the most impressive starts this season, especially under Jason Kidd. I just like what they're doing so far. And who knows? I mean, that might change, but it seems like those trades are working. Like, they got rid of Josh Richardson.
Yep.
In comes Sterling Brown and
Bullock.
And Reggie Bullock, Moses Brown as well from the Boston Celtics, who was a reserve player last year. So I do like what I'm seeing. All right, so we talked some round ball.
Well,
go ahead.
Real quick, I like how you mentioned the youth with the Hornets.
Uh-huh.
What impressed me about the Dubs is they kept that youth. Because how often do you see players get drafted, people divvy out? Mm-hmm. I want to see them keep Bridges. I want to see them keep Ball and keep that core together. At least two. If you can keep three, run with it. That's so tough to do this day and age. So if they can keep that, run with it. And also with KP, he's playing better, but I was hoping Jason Kidd would have a better scheme to utilize him more. Picks and rolls, roll off that. Like, he could be such a dynamic threat and still not being used well. So I was hoping out of the gate you see a different scheme. I'm not seeing it yet. So I'm wondering, is it coaching or is KP the problem?
Here's my thing. I think KP is the problem. Because if a coach wanted to scheme KP into a pick and roll, pick and pop offense, he would do it.
You can't stop that.
You can't.
7-3 to the basket, 7-3 shooting threes.
But, dude, we know how KP can be hot and we know how he can go ghost real quick. Like, maybe it's a consistency factor. Maybe it's putting him in the positions where he's more comfortable in playing. That's why I think, because there's no way that, like I said, he should be scheming that all the time. I mean, that's what Kidd did when he was in Dallas with Dirk.
Yeah.
It was always pick and pop, pick and roll. But I don't know if he thinks that KP is that type of player. And I doubt that Rick Carlisle thought that as well. He doesn't want to get physical. He doesn't want to go to the paint. He wants to sit up top. So, with that being said, I don't really know if Kidd is just holding back some or he's just allowing KP to play in a comfortable position, what he's comfortable with. I don't know if he's really a guy who can dominate the paint like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the part that I'm kind of nervous about, to be honest with you. Because if you put him in that position and that offense gets stagnant, it's Luka or bust, it's not that great of basketball. You know,
No.
It's terrible. It's terrible. They were in that position so much last year.
It's enough to get you into 7 games with the Clips and go home. That's how good it is. That's where it stops.
Yeah.
It stops with the Clippers in 7 games. 2 years in a row.
That's oh god, I don't even want to think about that. I don't want to think about that. AP, you got anything quickly to add before we move on to the next segment?
That's all we got. That's all we got.
All right. So during our little pre-production meeting that we had where we kind of sip and we kind of pregame before the show. By the way, drink responsibly. This show is recorded on a Friday night. We are not doing this live, people. This is not Saturday morning where we're drinking beer.
And if it was, I can't because that's my business.
That's my business. Say
about my business. It's mine on mine.
My business. Yeah.
Shout out to ATL.
Yeah,
Braves,
there we
what's
go.
good? What's
Yeah,
good,
there
man?
we go.
Yeah.
And that's 2 shout-outs today.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, we on top of it. So Thursday night football happened between the Packers and Cardinals. I would say the best Thursday night football game that we have had since Tampa Bay and Dallas to open up the season. Yo, when we started talking about this game downstairs, like, here's what I love about that. How we started talking about, this game. We all were excited to talk about this game. Like, all of us. Because AP said, she was like, yo, I watched most of it, but I didn't get to catch all of it. And she said by the parts that she watched, she was excited. Like, that's exciting. I didn't get to see all the game. I got to watch like 3-4 minutes of the fourth quarter, about 7 minutes in the third, and I didn't watch any of the first half. Didn't watch any of the first half. But it came down to the nitty-gritty.
14 seconds.
14 seconds. Kyler Murray rolls right, throws the ball to A.J. Green, who is apparently blocking his cornerback.
In glitch mode.
The ultimate Madden glitch.
Do not adjust your screen.
Oh
This is
my
real.
God. Oh my God. But Green Bay won that game 24-21, 3 points. And in my opinion, when you're down wide receivers or any skill position and you have to rely on practice squad players and you still win, you should be better than the field. Your team is better. It's either better coached or you have better players, right? Because you have played a team with, well, the Cardinals had some injuries, right? And they happened throughout the game. But for the most part, Buda Baker was still playing. A.J. Green was still playing.
Hop
was still playing. I mean, Edmonds was still playing. Zach Ertz was still playing. Like, Murray had so many more options. Aaron Rodgers did not. And for Green Bay to pull out that win was amazing. And what I thought was the most impressive was their clock management. They literally drained out the whole entire clock in the third quarter against Arizona. That was impressive. And Aaron Rodgers is like, yo, I don't need a lot of time, or I need as much time as I can get because I got some new receivers here. What we're going to do is we are going to utilize the clock, and we're just going to hit them with these short passes. But take 35 seconds, get into the line, and hike in the football. Like, that can mess with the defense. Like, if you are pumped on defense and you have adrenaline running through your veins and you are ready and you're ready for that quarterback to hike the ball, imagine a quarterback sitting there for 35 seconds and then hiking the ball. It takes a lot out of you. It was the most strategic game plan that I have seen going into a game against the opponent like Arizona, who was the only undefeated team in the NFL up until Thursday night. Like, everybody should be afraid of Green Bay. Everybody should be afraid of Green Bay. So that's my take there. K-Dot, what you got?
Okay, so talking about injuries, both sides of the ball though. It's not just quarterbacks coming off the bench or off the practice squad. Receivers, you're missing your top 3 receivers and your tight end. They were missing people on all aspects of the game. And what did they do? They ran the ball. Like you said, controlled the clock, right? You want to give your defense time, let them rest, and it worked out famously. So when you have all these things stacked against you, you got injuries on every position, essentially. You're playing on the field, on the road against the best team in football, quote unquote. I say that now because who's the best team in football, right?
Yeah.
Going into it, there was a certain level of intimidation. And Green Bay went in and took care of business. And, I'm not one to give them a lot of credit. I always feel like they're maybe a little overrated. They play in a poor division. But they showed up. And Rodgers did just enough to win that game, right? And yes, it came down to one play. What are you writing down? What are you doing? What is that?
You're good. Quick programming update.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quick programming update.
Being put on blast. Sorry, y'all.
No, not you. No.
But yeah, essentially, Green Bay came in and took care of business with everything stacked against them. Because, if they had Devontae Adams, they bust that ass. That's not even a game. It's just not. And it shows just how leaps and bounds, how much better Rodgers is than most quarterbacks in the NFL. Nothing against Murray, but he's got Hop, who, in my opinion, is the best receiver in football.
Yeah.
Adams is a better route runner, but complete package. You got Hopkins, and you got other weapons all around him. And it was kind of a low-scoring game, right? With a depleted defense and, cornerbacks not up to par with Green Bay, I expected more out of Arizona. So I don't think I'm equally surprised and impressed by Green Bay as much as I am let down by Arizona. With the implications of the game and the expectations going into it. Huh?
I agree.
So I'm not sure which is more outweighs the other. Overly impressed or let down. But is one overrated and one underrated? Yes, is the answer to that question.
Yeah. Well, that's what we talked about earlier this season. Are they really that great, or that team really not that great? You know what I'm saying? Does this game fall into that category to an extent?
But it could be matchup because Green Bay had a game. What was it against? Is it the Saints? Whooped their ass.
Saints beat them bad.
That's the thing too. When you look at teams, find teams that haven't played a bad game. That's why I talk about Dallas. Dallas has not played a bad game all season. I'm not saying they're the best team, but even their loss, they showed up and was within a last-minute field goal, right? But Green Bay's had that game, right? So maybe it's a matchup with Arizona. Arizona had their game, so it could be a matchup thing. But on paper right now, if you're stacking them side by side, Green Bay is clearly, without question, the better team.
Man, you just dropped some bars there. I'm going to have to ponder on that. AP, what you got? I'm going to have to ponder on that. What you got, AP?
I will not count Kyler out just yet. I think that the Cardinals, literally the game came down to the last play. Now, I understand Green Bay wasn't working with a full deck. That happens, right? But that's the nature of the game. You got to have your people there to play, and if you can't have your people there to play, then you do what you can with the people that you got. And I think that they did the best with what they had. But let's be honest, if the Cardinals hadn't played a stellar defense, now granted that's controversial. Green Bay would have drug them up and down by their do-rags. had that last touchdown not been overturned, because it was a touchdown on the field. They called it. They ruled it a touchdown, and they called it back. The game would have been done. Yeah. There's no way they could have recovered from that. Yep. Absolutely not possible. Now, the fact that they stayed in it and the tenacity from that play to the end of the game, Kyler Murray, inch by inch. Literally, end zone. They was at the back of the pole. They literally he was leaning against the yellow pole, getting ready, waiting for the hut, right? They was as far back as you can possibly imagine starting from, and would have had that play. I personally feel like had they ran it, it would have been a touchdown, and they should have. They were at the line. There was no reason for him to even try to pass it, in my opinion. But he went that route. He could have ran it. He ran two plays of his own. He put the team on his back in that last second. Like I said, I'm riding for Murray. I think that he is just a phenomenal young cat that's doing everything he can with a team that, honestly, we weren't talking about. We were not talking about the Cardinals up until the last season, Yeah, this past season.
That's true. Actually, people had them coming in at 8-9. You know, like sub 500. Like they weren't. They are 8-9. Yeah, no, 8-8. No, 8-9. 17 games. 8-9. So
Carry the one. Yeah, 17.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, they weren't the favorites to win even in their own division. I think
Right.
Seattle carried that, or Los Angeles carried that. Excuse me. But you know what? When there is, before we get to our Joe's Locks, because I gotta give y'all Joe's Locks too, by the way, real quick. When there's a coach that leaves points on the board, that really, or leaves them on the field, that really grinds my gears. Cliff Kingsbury could have easily went for the field goal and played in additional time. He could have. I mean, it's against Aaron Rodgers, but I think what stopped him from doing that is the analytics behind the NFL. What you see in the NFL is more coaches going for it. You see more coaches taking chances. You see them taking more risk, especially inside plus territory, especially inside the 20-yard line, which is considered the red zone. With these coaches doing that, sometimes they end up cutting off their nose to spite their face. That's what Cliff Kingsbury did.
That's some country shit there, Jay.
It is. Hey, how's it going there?
Okay,
Cut
but
off
to
your
be fair,
nose and forget the face.
but he put faith in a Pro Bowl receiver, 7-time
No.
Pro Bowl receiver.
No. Not in that scenario with no timeouts left. You don't have no timeouts left.
Against backup cornerbacks for the touchdown.
You have no timeouts left. Mike McCarthy would have kicked the field goal, albeit he would let the clock run down and use his final timeout with a minute left on the clock. But Mike McCarthy would have said, yo, line it up, go kick it.
Let's tie it up.
Because the goal is to win the game. Yes, we're going for it with 14 seconds, but hold on, let's think about this. Who alluded to running the football inside?
Marshawn Lynch. It felt like the Seahawks in the
Yes.
Tom Brady's got a ring because
Yes.
Pete Carroll's like, you know what?
I'm going to throw the football.
Yeah.
You never, when a linebacker lines up inside of the end zone, you have the advantage. You run the football. If you don't run it, you kick it. The last thing you want to do is pass it.
Bring in the bullies.
That's 101 football.
Tom Brady's holding the Super Bowl trophy over his head while Marshawn Lynch is hanging out on the sidelines
Eating Skittles.
tasting the rainbow. Yes.
Hey, he's
Come on.
eating, I think, wontons now. I don't know if y'all saw the Uber Eats.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
hilarious. He's like, don't look at my
Respect
food, cuz.
Don't worry about that. Nah.
It's personal.
But yeah, man, I think that his Cliff Kingsbury decision had a lot to do with analytics, but not a lot to do with football, and that's why it ended up with the outcome that they got.
Cocky.
Very, very cocky. He looked like Spencer Rattler calling that play.
Maybe that's part of the reason they were 7-0. Because, I mean, it's still on paper, as good as they are we as scared of them as we are of, even prior to this game, Green Bay or Tampa or L.A.? Even though they have a better record, are they as scary on paper as these other three teams? I don't think they are.
No, they're not. The top 5 teams in the NFC are equivalently good. All of them.
They're
All
right.
of them. The
They're
rest
right.
of them, no. The top 5, anybody can win on any given day. It doesn't matter. It could be a 1-point, 2-point, 3-point game. It's never going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
It's always going to come down to one possession. So, again, that's our recap from Thursday Night Football, y'all. Thank you guys again for rocking with us. So we're at the tail end of the show here. We've been giving you fiery sports talk for over an hour. I need another beer. Again, drink responsibly.
We're at the butt.
But before I give you Joe's Locks, let me give you a quick Notes by Notes Fantasy Football League update. In first place, we got Country Roads. Take my homes. Sitting at 6-1. In second place, we got Lamb Chops sitting at 5-2. In third place, we have Half Chub.
Every time. You can't.
Time. Every time.
I'm not going to do it next week. Watch.
Sitting at 5-2. Quarter Dak, who is my beautiful babe, my beautiful bride. She's sitting in fourth place at 4-3. I am sitting at fifth place at 4-3. Number 6, taking out the trash, sitting at 4-3. The fantasy football teams, sitting at the 7th spot with a 3-4 record.
Okay.
The 8th spot is Jack's Genius team, sitting at 3-4, and the 9th spot is the Jalen Hurts, sitting at 3-4, and then at the 10th spot is Zach's crazy team, sitting at 10-5, and then last but not least is Dak to the Future, sitting at spot number 11. Again, number 12, the 12th ranked team is my friend, my colleague's team, Josh Davis, who is no longer with us. So that does not count towards the record. RIP Josh, we miss you, buddy. And then real quick, let me give you Joe's locks because he wants you guys to win some money as well.
Let me get my pen out because I need to write these down.
Yes. So here they are. These are Joe's locks given to you by Jay. Joe, we love and miss you, man. So first one, Joe has Iowa plus 3.5. Then he has SMU hitting that money line. Then he has Penn State plus 19.5. Wow, that's a lot of points to take.
Ooh.
That's a lot of points to take. Look, that's Joe's. I would not put that money on that. That's a lot of points to take. That's a big-time underdog. Plus 19.5. Cowboys plus 3 this Sunday evening against the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. And then Cleveland minus 3.5 against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday. All right, y'all. That's episode 8 right there.
Yeah, in the books.
There we go. We're almost to 10. Ooh. We're almost to 10. Oh, yeah. That's right. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Holidays are coming up, you know. It's all good, bro. Kelly's going to be out for the next 2.
Yeah.
Hey, vacation. And you got wedding plans, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all good.
Not mine. Not yet.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Really?
Shit, she didn't know.
Yo, we should be the groomsmen up in this.
That's right.
Yeah.
Baby steps. Hold up. Now my old boss, Saman, her dude Drew are getting knotted up on the 11th. 11/11. So it falls on Thursday. So we'll be doing that struggle bus trip back to the greater Austin area come Friday. So that's a maybe. Friday's a maybe on that one. But this upcoming, I'm going back to East Texas. Going to go play around with the sticks and do the whole family thing because I got a vacation I got to use and dip out, get some little R&R, some family time. Right?
We'll keep a can cold for you in case you show up next Friday after next.
Just leave one of them in the fridge so that way, you know, I don't accidentally drink one of your beers. You know what I'm saying?
Or ranch water.
You
hooked.
Accidentally.
Well, yeah, we're gonna miss K-Dot, you know, in the next 2 weeks. Just, you know, he's a great part of the team. We love him. But it's all good. We're gonna make sure that we talk a little bit of baseball and a lot of Cowboys while he's gone. No, I'm kidding.
Baseball will be done.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Wow, November.
Quick. Yeah.
That's true. AP, what you got planned for the upcoming weekend, and what you got planned, you know, in the upcoming weeks?
Man, not a whole lot. So no Halloween party. So stand down, everybody. We're not gonna do anything. But kind of what you were saying, I think that we're just gonna, you know, I might throw the projector up on the garage. Literally, I was talking about that, and we might just sit out front. I might not even get no candy for the kids. I ain't got no kids. But I ain't got no
Trick or treat. I ain't got no kids.
Trick or treat. If you want to cop a square and watch this Nightmare Before what is it? Nightmare Before Christmas?
For Christmas, yeah.
Cuddle up. That's my treat for the kids.
I almost used my one F-bomb for kids, but apparently I was told you only have to say that if you have kids.
Yeah.
So when you have kids, you can say kids.
Yeah, but if you don't have
then
kids.
you get it. Yeah.
Nah,
so.
Jay will cancel you. You forgot about that.
Hey, not your kids.
Yeah.
Them kids. Whose kids?
Everybody but.
Yeah. Anybody's
Jay's
kids but your kids.
Yeah.
Whose kids? Your kids.
Hey, don't say that. Don't say that, bruh. No. Also, real quick, Sunday's October 31st, November 1st. You have my permission to play Christmas music. I don't care. But please, Halloween's first.
And be safe, everybody.
Be safe.
Out there with your kids. I know it's the weekend. Adults turning up, going downtown, going out. Everybody be safe. We want you to watch the show. Check it out Saturday morning. Come home Saturday night. Sunday, make it home safe. We care about our family out there.
There you go. Well, any more remarks? We good? All right, y'all. Round of applause for episode 8 being in the books.
Let's go.
We will be back next week with another fiery edition of Notes by Notes. Once again, this program is brought to you by our friends over at A to Z for Skin and Hair, who offers a bevy of hair and skin products that have no preservatives and are made with love. Give them a call at 469-674-5567. Once again, that's 469-674-5567. Let them know that the crew at the Notes by Notes sent you. We are out of here.
Peace.
See y'all next week. Better not bring your keys.
Thank you for listening to this edition of Notes by Noakes. Notes by Noakes is also available on Anchor FM, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Spotify.